Welcome to the Mother Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Hey mothers and daughters, I am here with an interesting story that I thought I would share with you because I've just kind of been paying attention to what's going on with all of the store closures and all of the going out of business, and I just wanted to bring a few things to your attention simply because I get so tired of going to my favorite little stores that maybe I go to twice a year, and I get there and they've been closed down. Look, I just found out 6 months ago that Bed Bath & Beyond was closing down. I was in the midst of looking for something that I'm like, I know they would have it. And then I found out they were closed down. I was kind of like, dang, I like to come at least once or twice a year. But see, I'm probably the problem. I'm the type of customer that they're like, we're not going to stay open just for you to come and see us once a year. And I get it. So on this show today, I'm going to talk about which ones are closing stores. I'm going to talk about some of them, how many of them so far that have closed, and even more since the last 6 months. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I think these stores are going out of business, closing down, consolidating, bankrupt, changing the names, and popping back out as something else. And we'll talk a little bit about, my shopping system and how I like to shop and where and all of those type of things just for me. So I will admit right now at the top of this show, I am the problem. I am not the shopper delight that they would like to have, just simply because I'm really not a shopper. When I was a young kid, my mom used to take us to the mall every Saturday. Whether we were buying something or window shopping, it did not matter. We were there every Saturday at the mall. Now, my mother raised 5 kids, but it was mostly the girls, so 3 girls, my mom, we would be in the mall doing whatever. I never questioned it. It was like we went to the beauty shop or to the nail shop, and then it was the mall all day. You get a bite to eat when you come back home because there was no thing of eating out. It was always you eating at home, which is how I raised my kids up until they were in high school, and I regret that we started even eating out. But and then Sunday was all day at church. So it's like if you needed those stockings for the next day, you need to get some for your hair, you better get it while we're out at the mall or whatever we're doing. There was no Dollar Tree and all of that stuff to pick up little knickknacks. So anyway, as of 2023, there are just nearly about 2,847 stores that have closed. We're talking in the United States of America. We're not talking about internationally. We're just talking about in the U.S. Now, I'm going to tell you something very, very interesting, that when I went to OpenAI and I asked OpenAI systems, and I went to like 4 different ones, and I asked, could it tell me how many stores have closed down in 2022? It said, as of this date, it did not have a correct tally, and for me to go to other sources to figure that out. And I went, you are the source. They said you knew everything, whoever they is. So then after going to OpenAI, I said, well, how many stores have closed as of today in 2023? Gave me the same message. It says as of now, they cannot give me any information. And this is across the board of me checking all of them. But just know that some companies are navigating toward bankruptcy procedures, and that just saves them from having to pay off debts and things like that, while others, they're just cutting costs, and i.e. employees, and installing these checkout on your own type of things. I never have been so shocked until in 2023, this year, I went to my local Dollar Tree, and this one has been at this particular location maybe the last 7 years, maybe 5. And I went in there just to pick up 1 or 2 little things and nothing major. And I walked in and was like, what? It had a self-checkout thing. I was saying, first of all, y'all went from $1 to $1.25. And now for the extra 25 cents, you're not even going to hire extra employees? So what was the 25 cent extra for? I think some of these companies go, okay, on an average, we have 200,000 people shopping a week at our store. If we just add a quarter at 250,000 people, if we just add 1 quarter, that'll pay for this, and that'll be a bill we don't have to worry about paying out of our revenue, or that money can go for the shareholders. That's how I really think some of them think, because for you to put a self checkout in a Dollar Tree is the laziest, most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in my entire life. I was mad when they put the self checkout at my food town. I literally stopped going because of that. And I want you to know the running joke, just in case any of these executives or stockholders get a hold of this, or any of you ladies work for these particular companies that I'm about to list in a few minutes. Um, we're not interested in checking out our own groceries. We're not interested in not being compensated for it. And compensation means you're not lowering the prices. You're not giving us a BOGO, buy one, get one. You're not giving us any type of break on anything. And you're not issuing us a W-2 at the end of the year. So when I go to the grocery store, I go to be waited on. I don't go to wait on myself. If that's the case, I can just have the groceries delivered to me at the store. The problem is I don't trust any human to pick out my fruit and my vegetables. Everything else I pretty much trust you to do. I don't care if something, the packaging is off or whatever. As long as you're giving me the authentic things, I really don't care. But that's not what we go to the store for. It's almost like going to get a foot massage and they say you go ahead and put the oil on first, and then I will take care of your feet, and we'll go from there. So to me, it's just ridiculous. I don't like the concept. I get it that you can have a robot, but let me tell you something. Think about it. If you hire a human and you have to pay them a certain amount of money to work at your establishment, great. You can always hire a human to work there. One gets sick, can't work anymore, you get another one. I was just at Target and the popcorn machine went down. They've got this whole automated thing where when you go in to buy your popcorn now at my Target, you have to get it out of the package yourself and ring it up at the register over there by yourself and everything. They load up the little case with the popcorn. But I went in there today and I said, hey, are y'all going to be popping any popcorn? He says, well, we have a part that's out and it's been out for over a week and we're expecting it to come in this weekend and then we'll get it fixed and then we'll maybe. So they literally just lost 2 weeks of popcorn sales and all of that stuff over there. I don't know what else is attached to what was broke, but they just lost all of their sales during the Christmas holiday. You know how many people feet went in and out of Target during that particular time? So you had to wait 2 weeks for a part to come in, and then when the part comes in, it has to be fixed, and then you have to test it to make sure it works. So you lost 2 weeks of revenue, where if it was a human that was popping it like y'all used to do, and the machine was a different type of machine that was working, then you could have just called the temp service, got somebody over there to work for the holiday, or move one of the other employees over there to work and hand pop the popcorn, it would have been fine. But no, you want to depend on technology, which is the same reason that I keep fussing. I won't say arguing, I'll say fussing about this digital currency, because like the story that I told you the other day, if your credit cards are out of commission because the system is down, the robot cash register or whatever is down, you will not have food to eat. So the fact that they think it's cute to take cash dollars away is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And I don't understand for the life of me and for all the breath in me why humans are not understanding that when you go all the way to digital currency, when they lock up your money, you will not be able to eat. Point blank. Anyway, let's get into these stores that are closing. So believe it or not, Target has a few stores that are closing in 2023 or have already closed. One is in College Park, Maryland. One is in Minneapolis. One is in Philadelphia. And one is in Falls Church, Virginia. Those are pretty wealthy areas that I just named there. Why they're closing Targets, I wouldn't have any idea. Now, I know that the excuse that Walmart made that they were closing is because the theft had gotten so bad at one store. They said that they lost like $95,000 a quarter or something because of the theft, and this is why they've locked up all the baby formula, all of the razors, all of the makeup, everything is locked up. So that's one of the reasons they've done that. So Lowe's said that they were also going to be closing some locations due to underperforming, and that decision will actually help them with the hardwired chain focus, and so that they can have more profitable stores. So in other words, the ones that are performing low, they're just going to cut those and then continue it. And that came straight from their CEO, Marvin Ellison, and that was a statement that he made this year. Now, some of the leading companies that are filing bankruptcy that you may already know about And this is as of 2023. So, um, it says leading companies filing for bankruptcy. Okay, so some of these companies that are filing for bankruptcy are Argyle, Thought, the Roman Catholic Arch. Oh gosh, of San Francisco. I can't believe the Roman Catholic Archdiocese is filing for but amid their scandal in the last 5 years, I guess so. Domino's Pizza, and then ever the ever the ever the Everguard Everguard group. I don't really know them, but you have to think about some of these companies, and these are just been since August and September of 2023. But some of these companies, you got to think about it. They have multiple companies up under them that you probably know of. So Big Lots has released a statement to say that they're going to be closing down some stores as well. Let me tell you a secret. When I saw this, I was shocked because I thought all the Big Lots had closed anyway. I have one that used to be, and it's probably still there, but about maybe a half a mile away from me. And I've lived in my home for 25 years, and I think I've been there twice. So shame on me for not supporting them. I don't even know what they sell or anything. So, but more than 2,800 stores are closing for Big Lots, and that's really sad because that almost sounds like they're going to actually be going out of business now. This was shocking to a lot of the teens, the tweens, and the young adults, is that 545 Foot Locker stores are going to be closing, or have most of them have closed. I hope that they got through the holiday season and then maybe make some decisions like that. Tuesday morning, they've got 487 stores. Yes, Tuesday morning is still open. I know someone who says that they have one right near their home. So yeah, Tuesday mornings is still opening. I don't know why this next store is closing, since they've come in and popped stores up everywhere. But I'll tell you before I name them, the funniest thing is they built two or three of them on my stretch of the road here. And one of them went out of businesses and now has become a beauty store. And then the other one, just a block away, which was dumb, a block away, block and a half maybe away, that one is still open. But CVS is closing 300 stores. I really hate that because I hear that they have a really good pharmacy tech program, and people really like them. The joke, they have a little jokey joke going on about the receipts are as long as a neck scarf and all of that stuff. So there's a lot of joking there. But I'm going to tell you, I miss the days of Eckerd's. I still will go into Walgreens, but I miss the days of Eckerd's. Now, I did hear that Dwayne Reed or Rite Aid, one of them was supposed to buy, no, it was Rite Aid, was supposed to buy Walgreens, but then all of a sudden now 154 Rite Aid stores are closing. So I guess that deal did not go through, because my Walgreens that closed down near me turned into a Skechers store, and across from it is another CVS that actually ended up staying open. So it's just crazy how they do the McDonald's Burger King thing, where if you see a McDonald's on one street, across the street is going to be a Burger King. It used to be if you saw a Walgreens across the street would be a Eckerd's. Now if you see a Walgreens, there's a CVS. Really, the competition is probably what's killing them. Uh, Christmas tree shops, 82 stores closed. Now this was back in September, so they didn't even make it to the holiday. Bath and Body Works, it says that they're closing 50 stores worldwide. I hope that the one in the outlet mall in Katy Mills Mall does not close, because once or twice a year I go out there and stack up on my hand sanitizer, candles, and things like that. So I really do like to go in. But again, I'm not your type of shopper. It's kind of like when my PCP doctor fired me. She said that I was not a good candidate because I was not on prescription medication. She literally told me to find a naturopath doctor, and she said that I was not a good customer for her, a good patient for her. So I did what my common sense told me to do, which was to get rid of her. And so, end of that story. As they say, point a blank and a period. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to let you just think about that I got fired from my PCP doctor because she said I was not a good candidate because I was not on any medications. Okay, next. The Gap and Banana Republic, 46 stores are closing. I didn't even know that they were in partner under the same umbrella, but now do. This one kind of made me sad because I know that anytime I used to think of red balloons, or anytime I wanted to go get some kind of favor for a party or an event or something, or helium machine or whatever, I'd always go to Party City. So 31 stores of Party City is closing. Walmart, I just told you why they're closing, because of all of the theft and the drama and the negative things that go on in all the Walmarts across the land. 23 locations are closing. I was kind of sad about the next one too because we already lost Radio Shack for those of you who know what I'm talking about, and to lose this next one would just be like, oh, where do we go now? And I know you're saying, well, you go online. Well, I'm gonna tell you what kind of shopper I am, and you'll understand why that makes me annoyed. Best Buy, 20 stores are going to be closing worldwide. LIDL, I don't know Little. I don't know that store. 11 stores are closing, and another 13 stores with Target are going to be closing. David's Bridal, look. When I got married back in the 90s, I went to David's Bridal even though I knew that I was going to have my own custom dress. I had torn it out of a magazine when I was 12, so I knew what dress I was going to have. So why I even was worried about David Bridal, I don't know. But your girls that are in your wedding also have to rent their dresses or whatever, but I had theirs custom made as well because I had torn that out of a bridal magazine as well. But anyway, David's Bridal is closing 300 locations. I used to love to see the competition back years. I haven't watched the news in over 20 years, but back when I used to watch the news, they would always have a commercial where you could go in during certain times of year and you could get your wedding dress for $99. I used to just love that for brides, that they could get their wedding dress. Because, you could take a $99 dress, send that over to your seamstress, and that thing could end up being royalty. Walgreens is closing 150 stores only in the United States of America. Fossil, the watch company, that was the very first watch I ever got as a teenager, was a Fossil watch. I could not just wait to save my money up to be able to buy a Fossil watch. 75 of their stores are closing. Disney, yeah, I said it. Well, we know back in January of the first of the year this year, um, Disney had announced that their merger with Discovery and all of that, and them getting that app, wasn't doing the numbers. It was doing well, but not doing the numbers. See, they have a number in their mind that they want to see, and then you have a number that you see and you think that's enough for them, but obviously it's never enough. But Disney is closing down 60 of their stores because Disney has independent stores that are like at outlets and all kinds of places. So Disney is closing 60 stores. Express, oh my goodness, when I was a teenager, that was my first love, was Express, and I loved 579 and all of those stores. I guess you would kind of liken them to the 579 and the Express. You would kind of liken that to what you probably like of H&M now. But 60 Express stores are closing down. 45 Macy's. Now look, we don't went from Foley's, yes, Foley's, to Macy's, and now they have 45 stores closing down. I'm assuming they had a good run, and that's it. Fry's Electronic, didn't even know they were still open. I remember when they first opened, I went over and bought some appliances. I thought, not appliances, but computers and stuff, that I was getting a good deal, and then I realized it's really not. DSW, 24 of those stores are closing down. My mom loves that store. GameStop, we already see the closure of a lot of them, but 12 more of those are going to be closing. Paper Sourced, 11 of those are going to be closing. Kroger's, 9 of them are going to be closing. This next one kind of shocked me because it's a nonprofit and because they even have job training classes. They have a whole job training situation over in Austin, Texas. But Goodwill is closing down 8 locations. I can't even imagine. Well, let me take that back. Rewind. I can imagine why they're closing down, because people do go in Goodwill and they steal. So that I'm very, very, very clear on. I understand that very, very, very well. I am not lost on that. Understand me. I understand why Goodwill will be closing. What I don't understand is why don't they just revamp? Like, for example, we have several Goodwills near me, and some of them are so nice and clean and fancy. It's one of the reasons I never used to like to shop at a Goodwill store or any kind of thrift store, because of the smell. So you can only imagine people from around your city, everybody's home smells like something. And if people are giving away clothing and things like that and their homes smell different, then when you walk in these stores, you're going to get all of these different weird smells. And that's why I never used to like to go in there. And so I don't go in there. But right now I'm going to go in there this week because I'm looking for some steel bowls, so that when I'm mixing up my soap stuff and I'm mixing up my hair stuff, and I will have those steel bowls instead of using plastic and all of that. So I go in there and I look specifically for what I want, and I walk right out. I used to go in there only looking for books, but now that I've got 10,000 plus books, it's like I don't need any more books at this point. I've kind of gone to listening to books online because I'm traveling and things like that, and a lot of these books may be too heavy to go in the bag. Michaels. I was sad about that one as well because I love Michaels for all of the crafts and all of that type of thing. So Michaels has 5 stores closing worldwide. Now I would nationwide. I would think that if Michaels is closing, it's going to be because they're going to close 5 because it's only 5. I'm thinking they're only closing 5 stores that are not producing very well in certain maybe lower income areas, because with all the crafting and all of the creativity and all of the things that people want to do who still like to go in a store and go shopping like I do, I would imagine that Michaels and Hobby Lobby is still their place. Now, there also could be, and I don't know this to be true, I'm just imagining, but there could also be a little bit of competition between Michaels and a little bit of competition between Hobby Lobby, because I know Hobby Lobby went through this whole little thing about, of course, they're a Christian company. They don't approve or they don't play into the LGBTQIA plus whatever. I know that they don't play into roles of that or bullying and all of that stuff. So they're not open on Sunday because of their Christian beliefs, just like how Truett Cathy's the owner of Chick-fil-A. He's passed on now, but his son has taken the reins. Just like they're not open on Sundays because of their religious beliefs or whatever, which is kind of interesting to me because in the Bible it says that Saturday is the. Let me mind my business. But anyway, whew, y'all almost got me on that. I almost start talking. But anyway, I'm not gonna go there. I'm just saying that it's just very interesting. But um, it's interesting that a Michaels would be closing, but maybe it's because a Hobby Lobby popped up. Or think about it too. My mind frame is going back to I want to deal with mom and pop. Like when I'm traveling, you're not typically going to find me in a mall with traditional stores unless I'm looking for something very specific and I feel like I couldn't get that at home, so I'm going to go in there. I remember years ago we had a store on Westheimer called Mary Ann. Oh my gosh, I used to love me some Mary Ann because I could go in there and get all kinds of shirts and pants and skirts, and she had like a sexy little flair to her, but not sexy negative, but just kind of like, okay, that looks good on my body type or whatever. And Mary Ann's was from, I think, Puerto Rico. And I'm gonna have to write that down right now because I'm going to Puerto Rico soon. So let me write this down. So Puerto Rico, Mary Ann. I used to love that store. I still have shirts in my closet from 20 years ago that I purchased at Mary Ann's. So for me, when I buy clothing for the lifetime of it. I don't buy it for the fashion. I don't buy it for the fad. I don't buy it for this is what's in right now. I buy it to know that that same black shirt, guess what? It's a black shirt. It's going to be in style. I can dress it up with whatever bottom or I want to, dress, skirt, whatever, shorts, whatever. I just took a shirt that I just got from Shein, and it has got the big, nice bell bottom sleeves, and it's a beautiful fall orange, like a burnt orange. And I'm actually going to be pairing that with some white ripped shorts or my black ripped shorts. So it's kind of like business on the top, play on the bottom. But I'm doing that because I'm headed to go to a mastermind retreat in a few weeks, and I just want to look cute on the cruise. I'm not necessarily looking to look like that when I get off the cruise to go to excursion or whatever. I'm going to have on my fun clothes, but on the cruise, because it's going to be work days or whatever, and things that we need to do for our 2024 kickoff of a lot of things. I just want to look professional and cute, but also like I'm relaxed. I don't want to be all stuffy and everything like that. So you can take things and you can mix and match and do all kinds of things. Like I have had the cutest dresses or skirts or whatever on, and I've put on some really nice cute tennis shoes, and it looks really good. Like when you're on cruises. I just told a friend of mine the other day, I said, when I finish cleaning out my daughter's room and she throws away all the stuff she wants and doesn't want when she moves, I was just saying to myself, I think back there in her room, I'm going to have me a couple of those clothing hanger type things, because I need a clothing thing for my Mini Cooper group. I have all kinds of gear for Mini Cooper. I need something for my travels. So I think I may have like a whole dresser that I set up that will be just for my travel clothing, because the travel clothing, you wouldn't catch me dead in my own city with those, different type of clothes on, because it's a little bit more fun, a little bit, just vacation type vibes, not really I'm going to go to Walgreens right quick in these hot pants or whatever. And I don't wear hot pants in public in my own city. I wear them on the beach or in another country if I'm on the beach or whatever like that. I don't do that because that's not my style. So now that I've a lot of travel clothes, it's like okay. So it's like I have my everyday style clothes. I have my I'm gonna go networking clothes. I have my after five event clothes, and then I have my activities. Like I love my Mini Cooper group. I love traveling and things like that. So I have five different clothing styles for different things in life that I'm involved with. Back to the store closures. I don't know the store called Jaw, but they have 11 stores closing. I thought that name was so cute, so I brought that to you. Amazon, at least 9 stores. Now, maybe about 4 years ago, Amazon said, okay, we're going to have these stores that are going to come out. You'll be able to have everything registered, your credit card and everything. And when you walk in, boom, with facial recognition and all of these things, we'll be able to tell who you are. You just walk in the store, you load up your basket, it's going to charge your card automatically. You just walk right out. You don't have to talk to nobody, you don't have to see anybody. We know what you have in your basket. We know when you put it in there. We know when you take it out. If you have it on your person somewhere, you will be charged for it. So there is no such thing as stealing unless you take, but I'm going to say it anyway, unless you take the price and the barcode off of the item that you are trying to confiscate. But I wouldn't suggest that you do any of that because cameras are literally everywhere in these places. I would tell you, I'm so proud of the people over in the Heights area that had the high rise and the Whole Foods store below them. Whole Foods did something really funky. And when I say funky, I don't mean that as in a fun way. They took that store and removed all of the employees out of there that were essential for ringing up your groceries and everything, and they put in these digital robot stores. People that lived in that complex above, the apartment complexes above them and in the community, band together and decided that they were no longer going to go and shop at that Whole Foods. Do you know within a month that Whole Foods closed down? Now, I've got associates who live over there, and I just thought that was a great stance. And honestly, I feel like anything that the American public doesn't like, I think if we did that and we band together and we say no and we mean it, then things have to change. But if we continue to acquiesce and just do whatever everybody wants us to do, then guess what? Everything's going to be the same. Um, the Real, I don't know them either. 6 stores are closing down. J.C. Penney's, we already saw the closure of them, but 2 more are going to close down. I was surprised to know. I still have a J.C. Penney's maybe 10 miles from me. I just didn't even know. This next one really shocked me, but after about a week or two ago, after I saw people protesting against this particular company, it kind of made sense. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what the protest was about because I'm not a Starbucks coffee drinker or shopper or whatever. I don't really know, but 500 Starbucks are closing. I don't know if it was because last year they had this thing about if you want extra ice, we're going to charge you. I don't know if it's because they don't give money back in the communities that they put these high price Starbucks in, even in the hood. I don't know what the reason is, but I do know that 500 of their stores are closed, and I'm already seeing it. So it's not like I'm just up here talking or sitting here talking, but I've already seen the Starbucks closing. I was never so shocked than when in September I was in Guatemala City and I was in the poorest area in the markets shopping with the people like I do, and we saw a Starbucks just like posted up, and I'm talking about the building was run down. It was cute the way they had it sitting on their end. Everything else was, you know, broken down all around it. But they had a Starbucks sitting there, and I'm saying to myself, there are people literally on the street who can't eat. There are folks that, $2 is everything in the world to them, and they had a Starbucks. But then it hit me. I said, Dawn, and Dawn said, what? And I said, those Starbucks are not there for the people, it's there for the tourist. And I shut up and said, okay, I understand. Godiva chocolate, 117 stores are closing. I won't buy food online, so I'm not going to go order Godiva chocolate. But I think that instead of them just closing down and kind of fading away, Godiva could make so many affiliate partners with so many different tourist boutiques and towns and things like that to sell specialty chocolates there, that people like me, when I'm, in these different little towns and everything, and I see a familiar name, I would buy it just on the strength of seeing the familiar name. It wouldn't even be because I'm not a chocolate fan, but I would buy it and give it away, or eat one and give it away or whatever, just simply because I saw it. Their packaging is beautiful, their chocolate is good or whatever. But maybe that's an idea that they could say, okay, well, now we're going to partner with the Disney store. We're going to partner with, this theme park place. If you look at all the theme parks where people go, if you look at all of the touristy areas where people go, if you look at any place that sells specialty items, Godiva would probably actually do pretty well in those stores. Justice, I remember my kids were young. They used to like to shop there. The girls, 103 of those are closing. Like I had told you earlier about Gap and Banana Republic, another 130 independent Republic. And the reason why I'm separating these, because sometimes you'll see like two companies already merged together. Like you can see the A&W store and the Kentucky Fried Chicken. You always see them together. You can see Pizza Hut and other companies kind of already together, where if you drive through the line, you could either order this or you could order that because they're partnered in together. Like for example, I just gave you Pizza Hut. When you go into Pizza Hut, you can only get Pepsi products. So anything that's sold by Pepsi, you can get it in there. There are some companies who only partner with Coke. So you're going to get Coke, you're going to get Dasani water, you're going to get whatever their energy drink is, only the Coke brand. So I think that if more companies would partner together for the greater good, it would be good. Now, I'm not talking about pure monopolies like AT&T and all of these other stores. These other places have done. I'm just talking about for the good of saving the brand. Partner with some people that you really love and they have a good reputation. Good luck finding that. We have a children's place near us, and I've never understood how it stayed in business, but 122 of their stores are closing down, and another 90 J.C. Penney's are going to be closing down. So those are the ones that caught my attention and really kind of, I'm not even going to lie, it made me sad. And it made me sad because I was like, listen, I've been through a lot. Back in the day when I was a tween or teen, we used to like to go to Wieners. Wieners was kind of like a Ross, okay? Yeah, Wieners, that was the name of the store. Um, I'm surprised that cons, I keep seeing them pop back up, and I thought all the cons were gone. But I'm over here getting me some lemonade from Chick-fil-A. I look across the street and I go, does that say cons? And it was a con store. It had taken the place of another store that used to be like a little, I think it's called Stein Mart or something. My brother used to love to go. But it was like a Stein Mart or something that closed down. They put a cons in there. And I'm like, well, I guess Stein Mart went out of business. Where was I? I didn't know. Maybe they didn't survive COVID. I don't know. Um, and by the way, when I was telling you that on the last show about my incident that happened during Hurricane Ike, and we had to go in the Kroger's and people were in there crying because they didn't have money because they left everything to the likings of a credit card when they really needed to have cash on them, and we were able to get groceries and other people were not because of, this little factor. But that Kroger's is not even any longer there. It turned into I think like a Mexican store, and I don't know the name of it because it's not the Mi Tiende. It's not that one. It's another Mexican store. And the only reason why I know it's there is because I was talking to my doctor about some natural things, and she said, "Ooh, papaya seeds and blah 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 blah." And she said, "Just go over there and get some papaya." She didn't say go to Kroger's. We have that. She didn't say go to HEB. We have that. She didn't say go to Fiesta. We have that. She didn't say go to Joe V's. We have that. She didn't say go to Randall's. We have that. She said go to that store and get your papaya. And I understand completely why she said that, because if you go to, this is my opinion, if you go to a lot of stores that are not American stakeholder stores, you're going to get more fresh fruit and vegetables. Why? Because they're getting it from those hometowns. They're getting their fruit and vegetables from those hometowns. You go in the African stores, they're going to be importing in from Africa. You go into the Mexican stores, they're importing in from Mexico. You go into the Chinese, Asian, Vietnamese, they're importing from their locations. Like when I go to H Mart, I make sure I get all the mushrooms I want to get. I make sure I get all the pasta noodles or whatever I want to get to mixed with other things. I make sure that I get whatever, oolong tea I want or whatever. They have some Japanese pancakes. Like when I go to H Mart, I know I can get Korean, I can get Chinese, I can get Japanese, I can get any type of food from Japan, Asia, Southeast Asia, Malaysia, wherever. As long as I know what I'm looking for, I can go in there and I can get those things, and I won't even have to worry about any of it. But that's my show for today. Just talking about all of the store closures that's already happened. My report that I printed here, that was a report that I was going to do for you in September. Okay, I was going to do that for you in September. I'm sorry, in November while I was on my cruise, but my days were so filled and so packed that I didn't even get to do it. So it's like, okay, I'll just do it now, because one thing I want to be more disciplined with for 2024 is bringing you more shows, bringing you more information. See, this show is a little different. So let me just tell you a little bit about this show in case this is your first time listening. With this show, it's about information. With this show, it's about news you can use. With this show, it's about what can help you in life. With this show, it's about informing you of what's going on in case you're like me and you do not watch the news and you do not watch regular programming of TV and things like that. This is for those that want that information but didn't even know. Like, as I do my research, oh my goodness, I find so much information that is like, I didn't even know that. And I'm so glad to be bringing it to you, because now you're going to know it. Because I'm out here researching. And when I find something, I go and I look for it. I look for it. And then I go, you know what? If I can make at least 3 points on it, I'm going to tell the mothers and daughters, because they need to be informed about what is actually happening around the world. So let me see. So I talked about which stores and the numbers. I talked about, oh, the type of shopper I am. I make a list of what I want. I go in and I only get that. I don't have time to be looking for other stuff. If I want a shirt and I go into Ross, I'm only going to the shirt section. I'm only going to my size. I'm walking right out the door. Okay? If I want food, I'm going to make a list of what I want. I'm going only in that area. Like when I go into the store, I start on the wall where the fruits and vegetables are. And then if there's 2 or 3, I need some rice or some tuna. So I get that and I go. I don't go up. I used to be the type of shopper that go up and down, aisle to aisle, and look for everything. But that's not the case now. My time is valuable. I realize that. I get in and out. For example, I was at Sprouts today. Okay, took me over an hour to get my mind together because I couldn't figure out which store I wanted to go to. Do I want to go get some food first and then go to the store so I don't go hungry and then come back and then I'm good for the day? Maybe I'll have a salad. Or do I want to go to the store and then if I feel like I want to eat something, I'll do that, because I'm not going to cook for another 2 hours, because I wanted my pure mango juice to get real cold for me in the refrigerator. And I like to have good juice when I'm eating. So it was like so many decisions. So after an hour and a half of deliberation, it was a whole situation. I decided that I was going to go ahead and I was going to go to Sprouts. And then I was just going to pick up me some French fries and have that, because it was 2 hours before I was going to cook. And so I ended up having some sauteed shrimp and vegetables and corn and all of that in a spinach wrap. It was so delicious, let me tell you. But I had to carefully plan that, because my mind is very, very tricky nowadays. And every time I decide I'm going to eat something, I ask myself, is this going to hurt you or is this going to help you? If it's going to hurt me a little bit, like the French fries, those probably wasn't a good idea. But I know that if I did not eat at all, I was going to start feeling, funny before I started eating. And I didn't want to just end up eating a bunch of junk. And I didn't want to eat the salad I bought, because that's a whole meal to me. So that's my thinking on it. But the type of shopper I am is I just want to go and get it. Too many different bad experiences of ordering certain things on Amazon that I'll never order again. I'll never order makeup. I'll never order beauty products. I'll never order anything to make my natural soap with on Amazon. I won't order anything to put on my face or my body or my hair from Amazon. No kind of makeup or nothing like that. And then there's anything that I'm going to put on my body, in my mouth, in my body, I'm not going to be ordering it from Amazon. I'm going to be very careful and go to particular stores that I know are going to source them properly. Um, so that's just the way I shop. The other last thing that I said I was going to share with you is why I feel like these stores are closing. I feel like the bottom line is all that matters to the store, the stakeholders, and the owners and developers. And I think they feel like if they can hire a machine, then they'll just hire a machine and they don't have to deal with the attitudes, because customer service is nothing like it used to be. They don't have to deal with the attitudes. They don't have to deal with people not showing up to work and then being short for the day. They don't have to deal with paying insurance for you. They don't have to deal with putting a schedule together. They could just press a button and turn that machine on and it's ready to ring up everything that you have. So I think that's one of the reasons that they really don't care if people lose their jobs and families go hungry and starve and all of that anyway. I also think that it's ushering us into the agreeance and the okay with them coming up with this system of paying everybody a certain amount of money, like some other countries do, to just kind of stay home and maybe work from home or whatever. It'll cut down on traffic and all of these type of things. That's wonderful. Um, the other reason why I think this is happening is because a lot of these stores have had a good run, i.e. Walmart. They've had a good run and they realize that people are tired of the fake foods. They're tired of the fake fruits and vegetables. They're tired of the drama in the stores. They're tired of. A friend of mine told me not too long ago, she said that she and her mother were in Walmart and they came over the loudspeaker and said for everybody to get out of the store. There was an active shooter in the actual store. People are tired of that. People are tired of going to the store minding their own business and then all of a sudden they get dropped into something or seeing something, people in their pajamas and cussing out oh my goodness. Speaking of cussing out their children, I have never seen a woman cuss her child out like last month when I saw this woman cuss her. I'm not going to even talk about it because I'm getting mad. So anyway, we're going to leave that alone. But that's why I think that all of this is happening, because they feel like it's just a great way to get them acquiesced to the robot situation. And after a while, they'll be wanting to do it. Because I do hear people say, well, when it first came out in the store, I just refused. I wasn't going to do it. But then now I don't want to deal with people. So I just go in, ring my stuff up, and I leave. And I get it. But it's nothing like meeting a pleasant face, like the young lady at Sprouts today. I'm like, hi, how are you? She's like, how are you? She asked me, do you want a bag? Blah, 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 blah. Did you find everything you needed? She just was smiling the whole time. She looked like she actually liked her job. And then when I got ready to go, I told her, Happy New Year. And she said, oh, Happy New Year to you. And thank you for saying that. It was like she was happy that I cared about her and that she didn't have to be the one giving, giving, giving. And I get that, because you get tired of giving, 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 and people don't pour back into you. So what happens when your bucket is depleted? Who's going to pour back into that bucket? So my whole show today was about the store closures and the going out of business and all the 50% and 75 and 90%. Half of this stuff they might as well just let 10 in at a time. Get your basket full and leave for free. Just pay taxes on it or something, because I don't know how they're earning any money at all, because the thing about it too is even during the Christmas holiday, I saw where some of these stores had 2 registers open in a line with 100 people in. And those stores I just walked right out of and said, you start rationalizing like, I don't need it that bad. That was me. So anyway, I just was like, yeah, I do not need it that bad. But just wanted to talk about the store closures and the going out of business. And I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen in 2024. If there's going to be an influx of new mom and pop type of stores that we've never heard of that we can support, or if there's just going to be continuous store closures and they're going to just say, you know what, go online. If you want to buy something, go there. So that's my show today on store closures, going out of business, and why I think it's happening, which ones it's happening to, and my type of shopping style. Down in the comments, tell me what your shopping style is. Tell me out of the list that I gave you, which one was your sad one to hear. I had a few on there. And then also, and by the way, when I was in Guatemala, they actually had a Radio Shack. I was so excited. But anyway, we don't have it anymore. But that's my show for today. And Happy New Year. And I have more shows coming up until the end of the year. And then I'm going to show you my new schedule of how much I'll be coming on here. And I'll be doing a lot more out and abouts and all of that. But I hope you have a great new year that's coming up. I hope that whatever plans you have, they come forth long and stronger than you even thought. And that everything that you thought you couldn't have, that you have it. Bye, mothers and daughters.